Hello? Hello, hello. Hmm. It might be very loud. Just saying. I'm trying to see on my end the little avatars are not showing up, so I wonder if that's because it's a locked VC. Maybe. I mean, we could do like just Discord call DMs. That would work. And then it's no one else can join. And it's just, you know. I will. Sent you a stream together so we can share chat if you wanted to, so I can see him on my end. Yeah, I will leave here and I will give you a ring over there. Hello. Much better. Now I can see your avatar. And now I'm just dragging around. I have this on my little couch. Here, let me... Yeah. Yeah, they can either hop on over or I sent you a picture to post as well. Yes. Now I just need to get your audio on my end. And then we're good. Thank you, Skies, for the follow.
Bug your highness, please. Blurred, you're being crazy.
Right, I think.
You can't say that.
Okay. I got your volume on my end. We're good there. My ambiance of choice is rain and fire cackling. Crackling.
Ooh. I love a good fire. I do love a good fire.
So that's there on my VOD. Now, we're gonna go through my poems, so I'm turning that on.
So excited.
Alright.
Oh yeah, wait. Oh, I will say Achilles wanted you to read the Komodo dragon
I did see that.
fact. Okay, okay. I wanted to make that note first so that way we did not forget about that. And then Kendall has a submission already, Blurred has a submission, and Nomadic just put a submission in as well.
Alright. Well, if you want, I can start off on this one. And if you want to go through the poetry, we could, like, go back and forth and take turns on it, if you're interested in doing that.
Yeah. Do you want to read your... I feel like it's only right, wait, for you to read your first poem first.
We'll do that. We'll start
Yeah,
there.
you have to.
Alrighty. So we have it pulled
Are
up.
y'all ready? I'm so excited. Ah! Okay. I'll be
Okay.
quiet, I swear.
So we have Friendship of Theseus. After sailing the oceans of life and strangers, it might find new friends on the journey together. The ship only has room We're limited passengers, thus with passing time, some will join it no longer. The ship ventures forward to those oceans of new, replacing those that had been there boo, been bade adieu. Don't mind my typo.
You got it.
Been bade adieu. Some might stay of those it once knew, but the journey does not stop with the change in crew. Circling the oceans from whence it has came, paying a visit to those who remember its name, the ship must continue while feeling the shame of the everlong adventure, now not feeling the same. The ocean of life is a vast and wild place, not knowing what it will ever take to face. The ship will continue on while traversing the space. Through the old and new, the ship had to replace. The ship might process at an unpredictable pace, though it will always be cared for by those who are visited by its grace. And then I have my little quote at the bottom. Some friendships can feel like they are lost in the journey of life. Memories allow it to carry on.
Okay.
Now we can
I
discuss.
liked this. We have to discuss. I loved. Ooh, nomadic. Thank you for that confetti. Also, Del, good night. Good night. I, the line, where was it? It was towards the end. It was like the ship might process at an unpredictable pace. It made me think about literally friendships, relationships, how you get to know somebody, and some friendships tend to like develop faster versus other friendships that are kind of slower. And so the fact that that end quote, you kind of wrapped it all together and made a reference towards friendship, it made me feel just connected to the poem again, because throughout I'm thinking about the journey of friendship, the highs and lows, the memories that we make, the memories that we forget. Ooh, I liked this. What did y'all think? Now, June, was friendship the like basis of this one?
That is correct.
Was that what you were thinking of? Yeah.
Yeah, so I have with the title Friendship of Theseus, because, the ship of Theseus is that philosophical dilemma of you have the ship that's getting replaced by all new, like, boards. So the ship, all the parts of the ship are fully replaced. So is it still the same ship? So that was kind of the
Mm,
little metaphor. I, s-
wait.
I see you, Achilles. I'll slow down. So that's the kind of baseline where you're, going through the journey of life. So that's the ship, is all your friendships. You have your different friend groups over the years.
Yeah. No, and then even when you specify and you focus on over the years, I like to think about how some of the friendships I've had have been decades long, they've been years long, and how they've developed. Day one, we were not the same person that we are now. And oh my gosh, wait, my heart hurts. It's just so fun to think about like how again, you grow, and it may be the same ship, but with new boards. So is it the same ship, really? Oh my gosh, wait, June, this is good. Oh, Blur, do you need bigger text? Yeah, I can make this bigger for sure.
Yeah, I think Nomadic got it. It's the same ship, but not the same ship it used to be. Or not the ship it used to be.
Oh, yes. I like that. And I like how it also kind of plays into it's not necessarily better, it's not necessarily worse, it's just different. Oh, I love that. Okay, that was fantastic. Almost like a person after every breakup. Wait, yeah. You could relate this to kind of like shedding skin almost. Oh, June. What the heck? That was really good.
This is my most recent one that I had. It's
Ah,
outside of the ones that I made for the mansion that are just for the riddle, but
I do remember reading those too. The sizing is better. Okay, perfect. Nomadic said, fun fact, the ship of Thesis is a wild article. It's also itself a ship of Thesis. Wait, what? The ship of Thesis wild article is also itself a ship of Thesis. Hold on, I think you're breaking my brain. Nomadic, try it again.
well, I guess I'm interpreting as the Wikipedia maybe is being constantly changed and edited, so the Wikipedia
Oh,
for the ship of Theseus is always changing, so it's not the same anymore. So in
wiki.
it
I
so
said wild.
so in itself, it would be a ship of Theseus because it is not what it was before.
I see. Constantly changing. I see. I read it wrong. Reading is fundamental. The original article from the original writer is no longer written by the same people who wrote it, despite it being the same words.
Mm.
Okay. I love this. Also, June, thank you for sparking the conversation. What a great way to get started. So now is the ship of Thesis though, is this like mythology based? What is this from? Ship of Thesis.
It's like a philosophical dilemma.
Mm,
Basically,
okay.
like,
I don't think I've heard of it before.
well, basically, if something is replaced all of its parts, so like you had old, say, old wood of the ship is all
Mhm.
replaced with new wood, it may look like the ship of Theseus, but it doesn't have any of its original parts. So is it still ship of Theseus?
So Ship of Theseus is almost like a theory.
Yeah.
Like you said, so it's like philosophical. It's a theory. It's not necessarily like a story. Ah, okay. This was cool. I love this. Now, who do we read next? We have a lot of options. Hmm. Let me see here.
Yeah, the hardest part for me is now I have to make sure to scroll and find it so I can put it up on my screen too. 'Cause the only things I have up are my poems and the one word story.
Oh,
Mm.
fair. Kendall, this is crazy. Your submission is insane. I don't know if I want to say it. Hold on. Because the chorus is so funny. So y'all, Kendall wrote a song about titties and cheeseburgers, and it's a song about titties and cheeseburgers. I don't know if I want to read that yet. That's kind of crazy. Hold on. Blurred, let me see what you wrote. Nomadic, let me see what you wrote. Oh, okay. Wait. Nomadic, is this yours about swimming pools?
Yeah, if there's any chance you find it, can you like screenshot it and put it in our DMs and then I can put it up on my end or
Yes.
something? That'd be great.
Yes. If it's in Discord, I can also ping you to where I'm looking.
Yes, that as well.
Let's see. Okay, Nomadic, that is yours. All right, June, I'm about to ping you in this one. It's in the Masterpiece channel. All right, let me get it
Oh, I
pulled
see.
up 1 second.
It's this one that's right there. Got it.
This one that's right there. Yes. Give me just a second to get that pulled up, y'all, and then we will read. Nomadic, thank you for submitting this. The text is so teeny tiny. Now it's the title says swimming pools, but I have a theory. It may not literally be about pools. I'm very excited. I love a like a good theory. I love something that makes us think. So similar to June's like friendship of Theseus, I think this is going to be very similar in like tone. It's going to make us think and it's going to come full circle. Uh, don't think y'all can see that yet. Oh, what the heck?
I
Oh,
just okay. Apologies, my
what's
roommate
up?
is talking. But yeah,
Oh, no, you're okay.
I just took a screenshot of it and pulled it up as an image.
Perfect. I just got mine pulled up too.
Okay, great. Unless there's a
All right,
request
I
for
got this one.
specifics, we can just continue bouncing back and forth. So,
Yeah, I got this one. Nomadic, thank you for your submission. I'm very excited to read this. Oh, Achilles, I didn't read your Theseus message, though. You said Theseus was a Greek hero who was banished and killed for being a hero. I wonder if, though, that relates, like, if the Greek mythology Theseus relates to Ship of Theseus. That would be kind of cool to figure out. But yeah, we are going to read Swimming Pools by Nomadic. Let me take a drink of water real quick. Ooh, my first poem reading. Now, Nomadic, if there's any background or info you want to give us about this poem before we dive into it, or while we dive into it, let us know. But the title is Swimming Pools. Those in power change the rule, while those without lick and drool. Suck the boot till you lose your teeth. I will not abide a thief. Powerless and pained, I should be cruel, but all I want is a fair rule. Not one for me, another for him. Be equal rules with equal vim. When will we see they think us fools? They cut us down with political tools. Stand with your fellows, a kind man bellows, but alone he's destined to meet the gallows. While we watch on from the shallows swimming in our fellows' drool. Oh, the last line. I don't think I read that with the right rhythm on the end, but a swimming pool of our fellows' drool. Hold on. I have to think and reread. Hold on. Hold on. Nomadic, I think you started off so strong. I love how it's so descriptive and it's kind of gory without it even really mentioning like blood or scary things. This is like a call to action, but almost like a like how can you stand around and do nothing almost? A sink or swim. Whoa. Okay, June, what did you think?
I mean, that was very good. I think I very much enjoyed the kind of swimming pool metaphor. I like the idea of the second half, especially like the ending line you talked about, the the shallow swimming in our fellows' drool, and just being cut down to political tools. I think it's a very interesting commentary.
Yeah, the political tool, that one kind of got me because I do feel like sometimes, regardless of whether people are vocal on their beliefs or whether they're following a call to action, I do feel like sometimes no matter what we do, it's always kind of used as a political tool. And that can be kind of scary, I guess, for people who don't really have that intent with their action. So, Nomadic, you said there's been a lot of division from politicians in the UK and many other places. This poem was kind of born from anger and tiredness. I really, and you can kind of feel the tiredness too. I don't know if I feel so much anger from it, but the exhaustion is definitely felt. There's a heavy weight that you get when you read this. And I think part of that really does come from the fact that you titled it Swimming Pools. It makes you think about heavy water and how difficult it is or could be to kind of wade that water. And then when we're met with that metaphor of our fellows drool at the end, it's just kind of like a gut punch of, wow, like I am kind of exhausted of having my actions be used against me or be used for a narrative that maybe I don't agree with. Oh, Nomadic, this was great. This was fantastic. I love. Thank you so much for the submission. Oh my gosh, Unfailing, welcome in. It's good to see you. We're doing some storytime readings today. So if you have anything to submit through our stream redeem called Read This, or if you'd like to submit anything through Discord, please let me know. Nomadic, you said having to deal with the consequences of others' inaction or negative inaction. Ooh, that's a great perspective because we also have to think when water is filling up, it has to go somewhere. It has to go somewhere. And if someone is standing in that water, they're not maybe taking a bucket to pull you out of that water or get that water out of that room. Sometimes it is really exhausting as well to have to deal with that. Oh, nomadic. What a perspective. Water is a great parallel to just emotional weight. That's fantastic. Yes. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Jude, is there anything you'd like to add, or are you ready to move on to the next one?
I think I'm ready. I think you pretty much nailed it all.
Oh my goodness. I love the interpretations too. It is oh, it's just so much fun. Y'all are fantastic writers. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, I was gonna
Let's get into
suggest,
this next one.
do you have a list in order? Otherwise, if it was my turn, I was gonna maybe read out Achilles's fact since they wanted me specifically to pull it up.
Wait, that's a good idea. Yeah, yeah. Here, I'll switch the screen back. I'll go pull up Achilles' fact. So this was the Komodo dragon one, correct?
Correct.
All right, Achilles, let's see what you said. I think this is in the education station.
Yes. They pinged me with it, so
Perfect.
should just link right to it.
Oh my gosh, okay. Now the text is going to be really small on this one, y'all. I do apologize, but I'm going to highlight it right there. All right, June, whenever you're ready.
Ready. So, Achilles says Komodo dragons are the world's largest lizards native to Indonesia. They mainly hunt deer and water buffalo. Komodo dragons are venomous creatures, meaning they bite to inflict their venom, but they have no fangs. So here is how their venom is used. Komodo dragons are ambush predators. They hunt, or to hunt, they find their part, run in, bite them, and quickly run away. Normally, ambush predators don't do that. This lizard is different, because after running away, it hides and stalks the victim, waiting for the venom to take full effect. This process could take days to be effective, because the bite of a Komodo dragon causes necrosis. If you don't know what that is, look it up at your own risk. Once the bite fully rots the affected area, that's when it comes back and eats the prey alive.
No.
No.
No. Okay, so I knew Komodo dragons were like scary and scaly and dangerous. What I didn't know was that they were like pulling off a U kind of move, a Jeff Goldberg, whatever his name is. Why are they they're biting it, they're running away,
Mm.
and then they wait. They're like, "Okay, now you die. You got 90 days." That's insane. I thought this was going to be cute. Lloyd, it was cute until this moment right now.
Mhm.
We had a wonderful conversation about emotional weight of swimming pools and how the ups and downs of friendship, right? Like, and how it can change over time. Lloyd, we were having a good old time. Okay, this is the wildest thing we've read. We need to hold on. We need to talk about it again. Yeah, please. That's a good parallel. Godzilla. No, really, really. Thank you for the scream, Joy, because what the heck? I didn't realize Komodo dragons were like nasty like that. And Johnny, you said they swallow, what was it? Fawn's whole? No. They're opportunistic scavengers, so they have loads of bad mouth bacteria. So wait. They don't even have like real poison. It's just like germs. Is that what you're saying? This is horrible. Thank you so much for the follow, DJ. We're trying out a new stream, a storytime reading stream. Thanks to Junebug here, they saved up their points and redeemed something new for us to try out. So we're reading poems, lyrics, any type of reading or writing that you would like to submit. So if you have something that you would like for us to read, we are more than happy to do so. We just read this fact about Komodo dragons, and I'm sick, to be very honest. DJ, welcome in. What the heck? Wait, there was a video of a steak naturally rotting and a steak bitten by a Komodo dragon. The meat was destroyed after just a couple of days. I don't like this. And they're huge, aren't they?
I mean,
They're the
it's a,
size of a decently sized dog.
yeah. I mean, they're hunting deer and water buffalo.
Stop. I don't like lizards. I'll be honest with you. Reptiles and scales are just not my kind of thing. Oh, no. To put this into perspective, they're twice as long as Kovu. Ew, and no, that's nasty and about 3 times heavier. Yeah, we're done. Where are Komodo dragons located again? They said Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Yeah, never going there. No. Has anyone seen them in real life? Oh, no. Oh, so they're venomous, not poisonous. I understand. Does this mean I can submit the smutty fic that Minnie said I could send? What? That Tubai was supposed to read? Lloyd, send it in the Masterpieces channel and I will review it. Kendall tried to get us to read a song about titties and cheeseburgers, and I was open until I read the lyrics. So maybe, we'll see. We'll see. There's an island called Komodo Island. No, thank you. I'm cool. I'm chill. I'm fine. Absolutely not. What the actual heck? No. June, can
Mm.
I pick your second poem? Or do we have to go in order? Should we go in order?
You can. We can go in order, or you can pick whatever poem from the list you want. You can scroll, and we can decide. Hey, I want that one.
I know for a fact I want the last one. We have to do
Mm,
the last. I think it's the last one. It's
yeah.
so good. One of
The,
my favorites.
yeah. The last one is the actual short paragraph story, more than a poem.
Oh, nice. I That's kind of how I read it too.
Yeah.
So we'll make time for that one for sure. So maybe we'll save that for last. DJ, you called this cozy. It was cozy until we started talking about murderous reptiles. But we're getting ready to hop back into
Yeah.
some poems. So if you have any type of poem, reading, writing, lyric that you'd like us to read, submit it in Discord, or you can submit it in chat as well. And Jor, yeah, if you want to submit a poem about jelly beans, go for it. It's good to see you.
Yeah. If you want our next one, the next one on the list is called Elephant's Mentality.
All right, let me pull that back up. You rejected my American classic Kendall. Kendall. Listen. When I read the chorus and it said big titties and cheeseburgers over and over and over, something in me changed, okay? I can't do it. I can't do it. Britt, welcome in. All right, June, let me pull up this second one. I've got so many browsers open, I'm losing it. Actually, I might pull it up on my phone. There we go. Okay. Y'all ready for this one? Now, this is by Junebug. Again, friendly reminder, June saved up so many points to bring us this just story time reading right before we all snuggle in for bed. So make sure to say thank you before the end of stream. This is called Elephant's Mentality. Bad experiences, bad memories, unfavorable scenarios, unfortunate stories. Attempting to forget, forgetting to remember, trying to burn the past into tiny bits of ember. With the ember flying around in the air, a show begins to sparkle and you can't look elsewhere. Tiny into tremendous, the flares increase. An inferno returns, now unable to release. Attempting to forget, forgetting to remember, the cycle repeats itself with no choice but to surrender. Oh, ow! Is this about ADHD? Because I don't like it. Wait a minute, hold on. Hold on. What is this about?
I think that's part of it, but when I was writing it, I was kind of thinking about the idea of how there's maybe certain things that I want or I'm thinking about, and I'm just trying to choose to forget about it. But
Oh, wait.
why
Junior muted,
I
sorry.
I clicked. Am I still muted? I clicked myself muted for a second. So
I think it was me. How
okay.
about now?
Hello, hello. Okay.
Okay. Thank goodness. Oh, I'm glad you weren't reading. Okay, but June, could you start from the top though?
Yep.
So you didn't say it was specifically about ADHD.
No. Not my full intention. Basically, part of it, of my writing behind it was how I tried to, the idea of trying to forget things, and maybe trying to forget things only makes you think about them more, or,
Mmm.
um, selfishly, if there's something that I remember, hoping others would forget so I don't have to think about it, and just being able to, this elephant's mentality, how the stereotype that elephants don't forget.
Mm-hmm. I, oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. No, okay. There's so many thoughts. My brain right now moving a mile a minute
Mm.
because it's tying in the whole, right? Elephants have a great memory. And while a lot of people with ADHD don't necessarily have a great memory, they do have like the tendency to like hyperfixate on things. And so, kind of like how you said, the more you try to forget something, sometimes you just hyperfixate it on or hyperfixate on it instead. Oh, there's levels to this one. Nomadic said almost like a reoccurring nightmare of a memory. Mmm. I like this. I like this. What did y'all think about this one? I feel like I can relate to it a lot, which maybe is unfortunate in itself. Sometimes I feel like this is a struggle, almost. Wanting to forget stuff, but kind of being forced to remember it. I feel like sometimes we do that when we don't want to remember things, like when something bad happens. And then it kind of raises the question of like, is that healthy? Like, is that a good mentality to have, right? An elephant's mentality. June, what the heck? You're making us think.
Yeah, the majority of these were written a couple of years ago, but then the Theseus one. These
Oh,
are these
yeah.
are part of my ending of high school journey.
And you said the Theseus is the most recent, right?
Yeah, and even that one's like probably half a year old.
Whoa. Kendall, you said the concept is really well thought out. I like this one a lot. Yeah. I love this. I think a lot of us can kind of relate to it.
Are there?
This made me think about
Yeah.
animal facts. Of course, Achilles.
Are there any
What'd you say?
more on the list, or do you just want to go down and do another one real quick?
Blurred actually has a submission.
Great.
It's right above Nomadics in Discord.
All right, let me pull that up. It's that one I know.
Oh my gosh. I'm still thinking about that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Blurred, you said I'm forced to remember in the quietest moments or when something reminds me of it. Mm. I like how you said that in the beginning, or that first bit. I'm forced to remember in the quietest moments. That's, again, exactly speaking to that point of, right? You're trying to forget, but you are forced to remember. That is so good. Really nail on the head of, oh my gosh, June, I don't know. That's, it just, it's perfect. It's actually perfect. Blurred, you said when everything is quiet, that's when all my embarrassing or sad memories jump out. Why do we think that is? Y'all, let's explore it. Because I do feel like, why is it the embarrassing or the sad or the upsetting memories? Why is that always the stuff that we're attempting to forget? I feel like sometimes when those moments happen or when they come up, it's a really good learning moment for us. While it might be sad or while it might be embarrassing, there is still some good or some lesson that can come out of it. So why is it that we kind of like block it? Oh, and
Right.
then, right, Blurred, you're saying when everything gets quiet, that moment that you were trying to forget, it comes right back. Do you think it's because maybe we gave ourselves silence for the first time to stuff that thought and that memory down? And so now that we're putting ourselves back in that situation of complete silence, our brain is like, oh, hey, do you remember that one time? Oh, those are the ones that we bury and never reconcile with. When everything is quiet, there's nothing to distract you. Knife in the heart, just twisted right there. Blurred, that last bit, there's nothing to distract you and everything is quiet. Ouch. Ouch. Fantastically said. It's kind of like your brain goes, now that you're resting and nothing's going on, do you remember when? And what do y'all do during moments like that? For me, I think I really like to like dive into why I'm thinking about that moment again, how that moment made me feel. Would I do something differently now? June, maybe you felt that way when you were writing this, right? I'm sure that maybe there was an inspiration of like a bad memory that sparked this poem. But how do you I mean, how do you navigate that like when you are going through a bad memory?
I think, well, for me, there's a very, so, I listen to a lot of somber music. I try to
Mm,
really focus in on understanding this somber feelings more than others would want to try to not avoid it, but understand it. So that way I can
mm,
be better at going through the process of dealing with it. Not to treat it as something that's 100% scary, but to treat it as something to connect with and understand. So that's one reason why
mhm.
I like to just sit there with somber music and just really focus in on the feeling that a lot of people are afraid to explore.
I like that. I think it's definitely something I relate to as well. I think a lot of us are a little nervous to kind of sit in our feelings. I like that you're accepting of it, regardless of how it may make you feel. You're willing to understand, is what you said, that emotion,
Mm.
and then understand how to work through it for the next time. I think that's fantastic.
Well, I have,
Kindle, you said, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I have Blurred pulled up whenever you're done reading chat and all that.
Oh, perfect. So, Kendall, you said during those moments, I usually find a distraction. Girly pop, that's not healthy. I'm gonna say sometimes it is nice to have a distraction to take your mind off of things when you can't healthily move through your emotions. But I kind of think that, similar to what June said, being able to sit and just understand why you felt that way, sometimes it can really help.
For the poem, attempting to forget, and then trying to burn the
Mm,
past.
exactly. Ooh, wait, what I read? What I read? Kindle, go ahead and read that poem for me again. Yeah. Yeah. June. No, June. That was good. That was fantastic. Johnny, you said it's because of the burden and the negative weight that the sad things carry. Even though there can be lessons and positives, the other side always outweighs it. The burden of the what ifs, the regrets, the accidents, the pain, it makes most, wait, sorry. The burdens of the what ifs, regrets, accidents, and pain make most uncomfortable in ways that you want to rid of. Mm. So it's almost like, Johnny, even though there is a positive, that sadness, that uncomfort, it's still just way too much. It's too much to bear. I totally understand that. That's really interesting. So Blurred, you said I just deal with it. I let the memory play out until my brain thinks of something else. Oh, so like a torture method almost. You just watch it again. You're just like, damn, that sucked.
Letting there's embers grow, letting the flares increase.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever really thought to do that. Now, hold on. I need to read this poem back again because maybe I'm not understanding why.
Yeah, because I think the poem
Try.
itself isn't necessarily the part of the process of understanding, more so explaining the problem that is trying to forget something.
Mm. Mm. Yes, I
So,
see.
in order to get past something, you have to understand how to deal with it. You know, like your puzzle. You you need to understand the directions and what the puzzle is trying to be to solve the puzzle. Because if you're trying to make a boat, but it's supposed to be a bookstore, you can't get through it. But if you're trying to understand, okay, this is a bookstore, and now you can try and fit everything in with that ideal.
Yes. This is so good. Wait. Oh my gosh. Fantastic. Johnny, you said this is why I say things like they might have a positive. Oh, wait, whoops.
Hmm.
This is why I say things like heartbreaks or sadness can leave physical damage to our heart and brain. Yeah, you know what? I understand that now because it's again that mental who? Mental strain now taking place into the physical. I can't control what I think about. I just have to deal with it. That's fair, Blurred. I definitely think that also kind of relates to the whole ADHD thing, having a lot of thoughts or a hyperactive brain. I do feel like that's kind of tricky to navigate if you are focused on like a bunch of bad memories back to back. But I like this poem because I think it's like a almost like a reminder necessarily that you don't have to, I don't know, like you don't really, I guess, have to feel anything. Kind of like June said, it's not really about feeling anything. It's about just understanding, hey, you went through that. That's crazy. Ooh, I love this. All right, let's get to the next one, y'all. So this one is from Blurred. Blurred, you said this one was short and sweet.
Yes. So let me
All
know
right,
when
get
you have
to
that.
it.
Hold on.
I am ready.
All right. So, from Blurred, King Sprinkle. The cluster, it's taxing. Every thought, every recollection, every feeling, every note. It's all fused together in this confined space. Some escape without a trace, while others are laced with repetition. Tension is built while I lay confused and dazed for all of my days. There's no process to my thoughts when it's only the shadow to this colossus titan of dread, fear, anxiety, and nothingness. I fear quietness and dread interaction, anxious within every moment as my tongue flows with nothingness.
Blurred. Why does this feel like A representation of like social anxiety almost. It feels so rooted in, I mean, yeah, just anxiousness, anxious thoughts. I like this. Hold on. I think my favorite line is right here where they say tension is built while I lay confused and dazed for all of my day. Because I think sometimes, especially me being socially anxious, and Blurred, please give us the background to this if I'm off a bit. But for me, I can relate this to my social anxiety because sometimes I get so tired after talking. It is so exhausting sometimes, even though I have a great time. And then the next day, I'm laying there tired, but I'm confused because I it's heavy again. Y'all, your pieces today are so just emotional and so heartfelt. I really appreciate you for taking the time to just share with us.
Yeah, I really
Junior,
enjoyed the ending of it. Just the my tongue flows with nothingness. I think it's a very great way to put the just I think everything with the whole feeling like of you know going back this the Titan of Dread, just how big of a challenge everything is. From the beginning, it's all fusing together into this confined space. It's just getting very overwhelming, and I think it's explaining that very well.
mm-hmm, absolutely. And Blurred, you said it's kind of describing both social anxiety and volatile ADHD. Could you explain that second bit for me a little bit more? Maybe kind of how your ADHD is making you feel essentially? Oh, June, you're so right. That last line. My tongue flows with nothingness, but yet you're still feeling anxiety within every moment. Wow. Oh my gosh, I really can't get over it, Blurred. I think you encapsulated a feeling that I know so many of us go through sometimes. I know we've talked about going out into public more often and just interacting with different people, new people, trying to make friends. And it can feel so heavy and so just isolating that, Blurred, I'm glad you're able to put it into words for us and let other people know that this is, it's a feeling that a lot of people go through. So, Blurred, you said the beginning is more so with my ADHD and how intense it can get in certain moments. And then it goes into my social anxiety and that I have to interact with people with short conversations that mean nothing. We're just kind of filling space and quietness with empty words and phrases. Oh, and that's a new perspective too. When you say, my tongue flows with nothingness, to be honest, I took that literally. I took that as you are so fearful of interaction that you are no longer speaking. You're holding your tongue. But you're saying that it's nothing in the sense of there's no substance, there's no intention, there's no meat to that conversation. That's a really good way to think about it too. And again, I definitely can relate to that. Having conversations sometimes with people who are only interested in like small talk. It's not very fun. Blurt said I have moments where my ADHD affects my mood, sleeping pattern, and actions, and there's times where my thoughts are so loud for a few seconds. And I'm sure that can be really overwhelming. Playing into, your social anxiety as well. I can absolutely understand why you would feel, I mean, all of these things. You feel dread, you feel fear, you do feel anxious, but you also feel nothingness at the same time, almost like a shell of yourself. Wow. Oh my gosh, fantastic. This is a really good reminder of just again the stark contrast of ADHD and all of its complexities. I think there are always some good things about our diagnosis that we get. And there are always some bad things. And I think Blurred, this is again just a perfect representation of kind of the harder parts of life and the harder parts of having ADHD. Very well done. Oh my gosh, very well done, y'all. Thank you again for sharing. June, are you ready?
Yes, we can move on. Are you putting in another request, or are we just going to go down the poem list once again? Because we do have 9 of them, so there's
I,
plenty for a
yes, I
while.
think I'm gonna read another of your poems. I really like them. And then I think Jor put in a poem about jelly beans, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jor, you did. I see it.
Yeah, this one, I'm a fan of this one, so it'll be a nice read for you.
Ooh, okay, okay.
The
Oh,
floor is
wait,
yours.
Blurred.
After,
One more thing, sorry.
go
Yep,
for it.
Blurred, you said that similar to the how are you conversation starters. Oh, yeah, when neither of us actually care. You're just talking to fill empty space and being cordial. It's kind of useless after just saying hi and moving on, unless there's a legitimate interaction after that. Yeah, Blurred. And I think too, that can kind of be rooted in like living a like neurotypical life and their standards rather than just meeting yourself where you're at and understanding that that's not the conversation you want to have. I think I've been really intentional about having better conversation. Even right now, I feel like we're focusing so much on the little details and the questions and the root of things that this feels better than attending maybe like a poetry reading where people are sharing their work, but there's not much room for discussion afterward. I think spaces like this make me really thankful because we get to know more about each other through not just our art, but also just kind of like the way we think. All right, wait a second. June, I'm pulling up your poem right now. The next one is, ooh, ability to imagine. Oh, okay, wait, I haven't read this one yet. So this one is called Ability to Imagine. Young and free, growth waiting to happen, born without the ability to imagine. Oh, time flies forward, the mind begins to swirl. This curious imagery makes the body twirl. Living life through the magic of the brain, pretend feels like reality, while reality felt plain. Time drags on, the mind continues to wander. These curious thoughts make the mind ponder. Wishing to live life through the lens of an outsider, a toll had been placed in the mind of the beholder. Time is obsolete, nothing left in the head. Mentally at life's end, the mind magic has fled. The ability to imagine once a great palace turned to a cemetery of emotions and status. With the world feeling over, giving a lack of hope, there will be someone able to comfort and help cope. Love and care fills the room. The ability to imagine returns from the gloom. I want to scream. I have two questions.
Yes.
One, is this about like mental health, perchance?
Um, I think it could have that kind of interpretation, but when I was writing it, I'm kind of structured it in basically your maybe creative ability or just the whimsy of life. So if we take young and free, growth waiting to happen, born without the ability to imagine, it's you're starting out, and then as you're growing up, as a child, you have all this whimsy in your heart. You look at everything. You're so curious about everything. You just want to explore, and that's why it's like when reality felt plain, because you want to pretend, and then as you go on, life kind of puts a toll on you, and you through the lens of an outsider, you just wish you were somewhere else, or you wish you could go back. And then once a great palace, what was, is now a cemetery. It's just your same childlike wonder is just not there anymore. And then at the end, you just need to find people or inspiration to kind of get that memory and ability to imagine back.
Right? Yes. Okay, I love that you said whimsy because that was my second question
I
was
love
like,
that word.
does this it's so
I, it's,
fun. It just again like living life whimsically. It's
mm,
hard to describe it. I mean, it's magical. It is such a fun and freeing way to live. And I do feel like we talk about that so much over here that this is it's nice to see the cycle that we kind of all eventually go through, right? Eventually, some of us do run out of whimsy, but I love how you ended it. You ended it with this like message of you're going to be able to find joy and whimsy in your life again. And you might, feel like the world is over. It may feel like that, but there is hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes I feel like that's like the cottage sometimes for us. So many of us will have bad days and, we'll come into chat or Discord and we'll just be like, man, the horriblest thing happened to me this past weekend. And someone else will come in and just be like, oh, that actually really sucks. Let me hold space for you. But also, things are absolutely going to get better. Here's how. And I feel like that last bit that you said, with the world feeling over, giving a lack of hope, there will be someone able to comfort and help cope. It's almost like you are bringing sunshine into a room. And I really feel like the cottage is so good at doing that. Oh my gosh, June, I like this. I keep saying these are my favorite ones, but this might actually be my favorite one. I love whimsy so much.
whimsy is a
Blurred,
good
you said
word.
it's such a good word. And I love too the fact that you didn't even use it at all, but everyone is thinking it. I'm thinking of a child innocence kind of growing into an adult life and then being null. Blur, that's a really good way to think about it too, right? Because like June started it, young and free, growth waiting to happen, born without the ability to imagine. You do start kind of at the beginning. And depending on how life treats you, depending on how your environment treats you, I think it can make or break that skill of whimsy. Do you look at life with rainbows and sunshine, or do you look at life as maybe very fact of matter? It's wow, 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 wow. It reminds me of the movie Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I don't think I've seen that. June, have you seen that?
I don't recall, but it
Mm,
can be something to remember for later for sure.
that's what I'm thinking of. I really enjoyed this one. And oh my gosh, I do want to draw attention to the I think it's the third paragraph right there. The ability to imagine once a great palace turned to a cemetery of emotions and status. Almost like we're trading in our whimsical values for like capitalistic ones. Ooh, there's so many levels and different perspectives that you can take away from this. I love the ride of this one. I really love the cycle.
Yeah, I think that particular spot was a lot of other people's favorites from past who's read it. Just, it's hard. It's a very like, I mean, it's like the stopping point before, your hope would regain. It's just, what once was is just not there anymore. So you just have to try and find it again.
Absolutely. And I think I like how you phrase that too, try and find it, because it does take effort. I think there are so many people who get to that point where they have that realization of, I used to be so happy and so carefree, and now I'm just not.
Yeah. I think
Now I'm just not.
a little writing decision, I think, is the idea of trying. So I was trying to decide how I wanted to write that there will be someone able to help comfort and cope. So at first I thought it was a little weird. And I was like, I said, but I was like, there is. And I wanted to not have the guarantee, but I think I like, not that there is someone out there, but there will be. You just gotta keep finding it rather than a guarantee that it's given to you. So I think that even that just one word change instead of will, instead of is, have will. That word, just the one word change, I think makes or break the understanding of the ending as a whole for me, which is why I did it that way.
Mm. I think that's really important to note too, because even the intention of saying hope, right? It reinstalls whimsy. It reinstalls imagination because it's not a guarantee. It's not concrete. You have to think, you have to wish, you have to imagine what that looks like. Oh, oh, there's levels. Oh, there's levels. That's
Because
good.
someone will be there. You just have to know where to look. Because it's just, they're not right there, but they're there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Wait, I love the whole message throughout really is fantastic. And I love that we're ending on like a positive note. It's not the acceptance that life kind of breaks you and you have to be okay with that. I like the fact that you're ending with, again, hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel. The poem, Biscotti, thank you for saying that. This one was by June. Blair, you said, so wait, Secret Life of Walter Mitty is a Ben Stiller drama about a typical businessman tired of the work-life balance, daydreams and sets off on traveling across the world to experience how fun and joyful life can be. I understand. So the secret life is more so like in his head. That's kind of cool. Because June, didn't you have a line about that, right?
I
Let's
think,
see.
yeah, something similar for sure. Of just, um,
Oh, there it is.
let me
Second
read it.
paragraph.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the second paragraph is, the childlike wonder of everything is, this curious imagery. Everything is just so curious. So you're just so attentive to everything and you want to understand everything because you don't understand anything.
I like this. Oh my gosh. And I've never heard curious imagery before, and now that I'm rereading it, it's like again, you get drawn to the word whimsy because it makes you think. It makes you imagine. It makes you question. And Blurred, kind of like what you're saying, right? That Secret Life of Walter Mitty, those last two lines in that second paragraph where they're saying living life through the magic of the brain, pretend feels like reality while reality felt plain. I think some of us, who do have a large imagination or a large amount of whimsy or even just like to daydream can relate to that. I feel like I absolutely, that last line in that second paragraph, that's real. Sometimes reality does feel so, so boring in comparison to what goes on in my head. And then, maybe we can take that a step further and it's like, is that a blessing or a curse? Is too much whimsy a bad thing? Does that make reality kind of a negative when your mentality is like too positive? Johnny, you've seen that movie before? It was trippy, but it had a really cool meaning. So, if you've seen the movie, then is it very similar to what June's written in the poem? From the description that Blurred put in there, it sounds, I mean, pretty spot on. What does atypical mean? Blurred said not representative of a type, group, or class. I could see the similarity between the two. There's also a line with positivity and naivety. Oh, wait. Am I missing it? Where? Oh, June, do you want to pull up Jordan's Jelly Bean poem next?
Yeah, we can jump over there.
Blurred,
Wait.
you said you can be so positive sometimes that you fail to see the true nature of life. Oh. Oh, what's that called? Toxic positivity, right? One thing I've come to know is that a lot of negative emotions are a result of lack of knowledge, aka ignorance. That's a think piece.
Okay. I have it ready.
Okay. I feel like we're gonna have to, June, if you feel comfortable, I feel like you should post these in the Masterpiece Discord because I don't know, it makes me want to come back and read these. I
Yeah,
want to have such a like a large conversation over every single one. It's so hard to move on
yeah,
sometimes.
I think I can post the whole PDF now that I have it. Because I think a couple I posted before. But now it's all in one place. So everyone can reference, oh, poem number 3. Let's discuss. So we can
Oh, sweet.
I'll definitely put that in there. But
Yeah,
I
please.
have yours
Perfect.
ready.
I'm ready as well.
Alright, we will read this. So we have Jor. I said, excuse me, mother fluffer. Do you like jelly
Oh,
beans?
oh, Jor.
It just says fluffer. It's not.
I love this already. Go, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
He was like, yeah, but not the black and the green ones. Mother fluffer, who said I had Eastern jelly beans? To make a long fluffin' story short, I put a whole bag of jelly beans up my ass, and it's 24 hours later, and I ain't find none yet. Jelly bean lady.
Yep. I knew where this was going when I heard you say, to
Mm,
make a long story short. I felt that in my soul. I said, I put a whole bag of jelly beans up my ass. Who knows that quote? If you
I
haven't
do.
heard,
I do.
it
It's
is,
it's it's so good.
it's,
It's a classic. That's
I
for
didn't see
sure.
that coming. I did not see that coming. Joy, thank you for the troll. Wait, that was hilarious. I'm really proud of you.
I
I
didn't
love how we were
even.
taking everything serious. I didn't see it coming, June. I'm gonna be honest with
Yeah.
you. I didn't see it coming. Sure, thank you for the cheer.
Well, when I browsed it before, I didn't see the censor. I just thought it was straight up. I didn't see Fluffer. I read it as what it was. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
honest. I was ready to go. I
Mm-hmm.
was ready to put in some
I
CKs.
I was ready to no.
No.
That's insane, Jory.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I and the censor too. The mother fluffer was hilarious. Big fan, big fan. Okay, all right. I don't have anything. I can't say anything about that. I feel like everyone was
It's,
there. You were there. I was there. It's a classic. This is a timeless piece.
everyone's
Put this one
there.
up next to
Jelly beans
Shakespeare.
are up there. Like, it's all good.
Everyone's there. The jelly beans are up there. A poem in itself, if you think about it.
Mm. Is there any other on
It
the a
speaks
list?
volumes.
Otherwise, we can just keep going down our poem list, I suppose.
I think I want to say that was it. I'm double checking that people didn't DM anything. Okay.
Right.
Yes, I believe that was it for chat submissions. But y'all, friendly reminder, if you do want us to read something of yours, you can put it in the Discord in the Masterpiece channel, or you can use the Read This Redeem that's in stream, just in case you're not in Discord. But we're going to hop back over into June's poems. On to the next one. This one is called The Hummingbird. Ooh. Oh, okay, okay. I'm excited about this. I love a good hummingbird metaphor. Oh, it's my turn, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's fun when you read my poems because I've read them to people so many times and now you get to read them aloud.
That's fair. I hope my delivery is okay.
It's been good. So you're good. The floor is yours.
Joy, you said that's my cameo. Thank you. Bye, Joy. Thank you so much for your submission tonight. All right, the hummingbird. A mossy green body flies fast through the air. The rapid white wings assist its impressive flare. That long straw beak ready for nectar so sweet, humming with pleasure until the journey is complete. The peaceful hummingbird having love in its heart, a joyous bird of beauty of such natural art. The bright ruby red collar that shines in sunlight, the sight of this feathered friend is always a delight. The gentle hummingbird spreads a feeling of pleasance, known to bring good luck to those near its presence. The little bird leaves as quickly as it came, the wait for its return from its large fame. The hummingbird, now away, yet never truly fled, the image of that bird is stuck in the head. The unforgettable moment of such charming birds that cannot be explained in just simple words. The hummingbird that fills people with glee, the hummingbird so calming and free, the hummingbird of love and devotion, the hummingbird, the bird of enlightening emotion. I don't know how many people have had the opportunity to see a hummingbird, like up close, but this encapsulates exactly what it's like to see one. It is such a, oh my gosh, there's a hummingbird moment. It is a standstill freeze frame moment because they are so fast, so quick, so fleety, so flighty, but they are beautiful birds. They are gorgeous. They are amazing. June, did you write this while watching hummingbirds?
Well, I do have a little fun fact explanation at the bottom that we'll talk about pretty much exactly the inspiration behind why I'm choosing the hummingbird. However, there are a couple different kinds of hummingbirds, but the specific one in Wisconsin and around the area is this green one that has a ruby red collar.
Hmm.
Maybe just Midwest in general. But
I was gonna say, I isn't their name like a ruby red hummingbird or something like that?
I think it's exactly that.
Mm-hmm. When you said it, when I read the ruby red collar, I was
Hmm.
like, oh, the image again came to mind exactly how you described it in your poem because growing up in the country, my mom had a ton of bird feeders. And so I got to experience seeing hummingbirds all the time. And they are so beautiful, but it really is such a like majestic moment. Oh my gosh, yeah. I could see it so
Hmm.
vividly. I
And
love that we kind of like I guess grew up or I suppose saw the same hummingbirds. That's really
mhm.
cool.
Yeah, I think as far as animal facts go, just note they're metaphorically known to bring good luck. So that's why that was included there as well. But if you want, we can dive into the little fun fact on the bottom.
Oh
You
yeah, I
can
do want to read that.
zoom in, scroll
It
down,
said
and you can read that.
it said I wrote this per request when our high school choir went to an art studio in my hometown. The reason we went was to sing for an older crowd with dementia. I was tasked to write a poem relating to a bird, and I chose the hummingbird because it was a prominent bird that always showed up around my grandmother's bird feeders. Oh, hey, twin. My decision was successful, and everyone got a charm of a hummingbird, the kind that I described in my poem. Aw, this was unplanned but a very happy coincidence. June, what the heck? I feel like this can also, though, like the metaphor of of a hummingbird can kind of play into dementia almost. 'Cause like the memories, right? don't necessarily always just disappear. Sometimes they do come back in waves. And similar to a hummingbird, right? It might be really quick. They might stick around for a little bit, but eventually they do go. And they might be nearby, and maybe they aren't always right at the forefront, but oh my gosh, wait a minute. That's good. I also, again, love that you can relate to seeing hummingbirds and the feeders at your grandparents' house. That's really sweet.
Yeah, the bird feeders are just right outside the window. Just always
That was
had
fun.
hummingbirds. It was very common.
I love this, and I think it's really sweet though too. They got a little charm of it. Was it like was it like beads? Like a hummingbird bead?
I'm trying to think how to describe it. It almost looked like a pin without the pin part. Like it was just
Oh,
it
like
just
the metal, like enamel pins?
yeah. So it looked like a
Which is
pin,
cute.
just there's nothing to use to pin it. It was just the charm is just it is a hummingbird kind of thing that you just have.
That's cute. I
And
like that. That's
yeah,
cute.
it was unplanned. They had that ready and I presented them with this and it was just the exact thing. So it was unplanned.
That's so sweet. Definitely uncanny, but I feel like the poem then in that moment just meant so much more. Can I post my favorite rap verse in your masterpiece channel? It's from Greek mythology album. Oh yeah, Blurred, go for it, go for it. And Achilles, you said, can I read another animal fact? Yes. June, would you like to? Well, wait, Achilles, do you have a specific one you want us to read? I'm kind of scared. All the animal facts are either like scary or still scary. I'll ping ya. Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I guess while we
My
wait
turn.
for transitions of sharing the rap verse and whatnot, so obviously this one's related to my grandmother. There's a different poem that I don't have on here. I think I could have, but we'll see if there's an encore. We'll read it. But it
Wait.
was about my grandmother, and I was able to write a poem to present it at her funeral.
Stop. I feel like you should read it now. It's the perfect segue.
I could.
Do it,
I
do it,
have the
do
image
it.
saved, so I should be able to just send you the photo for you to pull up.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
It has the poem, and then what would have been on the backside is the like my explanation behind it. I just need to take 1 second because I don't care that much, but it has my name on it. So just
It,
for legal
mhm,
reasons, I'm going to remove my name.
mhm. Thank you,
Just
thank you. Much obliged. And it looks like I think Achilles and Blair have also submitted their things. So
well,
while we wait,
yeah. I was
let's
like,
see here.
yeah.
Oh gosh, Achilles, what is this one? Beetles? What is that thing? What is that thing? What is that thing? Oh, I'm scared. Okay, okay. Y'all, we're gonna read a fun. I don't know if this is fun. We're gonna read a scary bug fact.
Bug fact. Okay, let me pull it up on my end, and then you can read it while I get this ready. Mayhaps.
Yes. Yeah. I'll kill some time for us. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to read this off my phone, Achilles. What in the actual heck is this fact? I love the start of this too. This is really funny. June, let me know when you're ready.
I'm good when you're good.
All right, y'all, we're gonna read another animal fact. This is from Achilles. I know, Blurred, I'm already crying too. I'm already crying too. Viscotta, you said Junebug has genuinely surprised me tonight. Would have never guessed he's so deep, not in a million years. What? Miss Scotty, what? That's the opposite of how I view June. I feel like June is absolutely as deep as they represent themselves. It's no surprise to me that their poems have been like so just thoughtful and on the mark, and I don't know, just they're all think pieces. I think it's a great representation. I don't know. Blurred called me the bug guy once and it messed with me a bit. I mean, Achilles, are you not the bug guy? That's why I started it like that? Oh, okay. Well, let's get into it then. Achilles, the non-bug guy, says, I don't want to turn into the bug fact guy, but I need this info out of my system. Time to learn about velvet ants. They also go by the name cow killers. And despite being named velvet ants, they are actually wasps. Great. Velvet ants are split into two groups, males and females. Males have wings and no stinger, while females have a stinger but no wings. Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay. I'm following. The males are completely harmless, and all they do is pollinate, while females are solitary hunters and are non aggressive, only stinging if provoked or threatened. Velvet ants are a peaceful group that only eat insects that are considered pests, like yellow jackets and ground nest bees. Oh, we like her. I bet you're wondering where the nickname cow killer comes from. Well, they're known for having one of the most powerful stings in the world. There have been reports of horses being stung and committing suicide by jumping off cliffs. That's how bad the sting is. Again, only the females have stingers and no wings, while the males have wings and no stinger. Oh, reproduction. Velvet ants are considered parasites because they reproduce much like a tarantula hawk wasp, where they lay their eggs in an insect and have the larva eat the insects when they hatch. Overall, these wasps won't come near you unless provoked, and you won't have to go through the pain it causes because they're mostly found in pastures, fields, and deserts of the southern half of the USA. Like Arizona? Hold on. I want names. I want states. Where? I don't want just southern half of the US. Where exactly? Names, please. Who? Who? Texas? Does Texas have this? Let's look at the pictures. Let's look at the pictures. Because it's kind of cute though. I will say I do love the crimson red. I think she's gorgeous. Um but you know, I just horses exiting game because of a sting. I'm a little nervous. How do y'all feel? Oh, so just Virginia and South. That's terrifying, actually. Good thing we're not in Arizona. Blurred, the problem is that I want to be. Yeah, the problem is that I want to be in Arizona. I have a long-term goal to move out there. But the more I learn about the wildlife, the more I think like, maybe not. Maybe we don't need to go to Arizona. Nevada's always an option. Well, what's in Nevada though? Really nothing, right? Really nothing. Under it is the picture of the stinger. Wait. Ah! I can't look at that picture. I'm so sorry. I have such a fear of like needles and like sharp things. I don't. Ew. Ew. Y'all, if you want to go look at that picture, hop into the Discord, check out the education station. I cannot show you that picture. Ah, that was crazy. 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 And it didn't even look that bad. Like, bee stingers look thicker. Wasp stingers look thicker. That looks so thin. It probably doesn't even hurt going in, but it probably is just like sharp and fills your body with fire. Oh my gosh, no, I'm disgusted. Nevada has the desert and Vegas. Arizona has, I don't know actually. What does Arizona have for real? There's another fact underneath that picture of how long it is. I will read it. I will read it. Scroll past the scary photo. So the stinger can be up to half an inch. We're done, actually. That's kind of crazy. Achilles, ew. The bug itself can grow up to an inch. So, Achilles, how did you get to know all these bug facts? What do you mean, Phoenix, Arizona? Like you visited Phoenix, Arizona, and they just told you all about bugs? What are you talking about? Biscotti, you said nonetheless, bravo. Encore for sure. Yeah, yeah. I um I do know June is going to be submitting some of their work in the Discord. So if y'all do want to go back and read it, maybe use it as inspo to write something for yourself. Would
It'll be
absolutely
there.
love to see it.
It'll be there
Mm.
after the stream's concluded. It'll be posted.
Oh, sick. Perfect.
And I did send you the other one in your DMs for
Oh, nice.
the one
Okay.
that's not in the group.
Okay, let me get that switched over then. I want to hear this one. So y'all, this is something that June wrote about their grandmother, and I'm having them read it because the last poem we just read of theirs was about the hummingbird. And this was something they saw at their grandmother's space. They got to present it to an elderly group that suffered from dementia. And because it was such a heartfelt moment, oh no, I'm clicking the wrong things. It was a heartfelt moment, and it's something that I can absolutely relate to as someone who grew up around their grandparents and out in like rural Indiana. Hummingbirds mean just like a lot to me. So I would love to hear this poem that June wrote about their grandmother. June, let me get these pictures pulled up real quick.
Yeah, so the first one is the actual poem, and then the second one is stuff to talk about.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So yes, this is a poem that I wrote for my grandmother's funeral. She passed away, and I was able to read this at the ceremony.
I'm gonna cry, I think. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so we have it's called Cookie. Alright, Cookie. A sweet treat for any day, perfect dessert for each situation. The spirit of giving, most will say, the value this treat offers for every occasion. Having the firm, stubborn outside that holds the gentle, lovely inside. Every unique ingredient, history, the recipe will include, creates much more than just ordinary food. Everyone smiles when this treat is around. Memories were always found, little to large, the bites felt forever caring. Always room for sharing. Joyful, optimistic, affectionate, nourishing.
I love this. Partly because I don't know about everyone else, but whenever you think of grandmas, I always think of cookies, like grandma's cookies, right? And I loved this parallel of food that you put in here. This second paragraph, where you said that firm, stubborn outside, and it's holding that gentle, lovely inside. We just talked about that at the beginning of stream, and it's so interesting to think about that in terms of people. You what? Y'all, thank you. It's so interesting to think about in terms of people because it's like sometimes, yeah, people are harder on the outside. Mods lose it all, Derek. No, 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 no. They just got to $7. They just got to $7 today. They just got to $7.
It's crazy.
Derek, you're killing me. Here we are talking about grandmothers and potential loss, actually. But we'll get into that. Derek, welcome, and it's so good to see you. I really hate that you robbed my mods. But I hope you are having a good afternoon. We're reading some poem entries by The Cottage and also by June. And recently, this one right here, it's titled Cookie, but it's about June's grandmother. Well, actually, I can't say that. June wrote it for their grandmother. Which brings us, yeah, June, wait, let's talk about it. What was the inspo? What was the process? Walk us through this.
Well, so while we talk about it, if you want to pull up that second image, either side by side
Yeah.
or however you want to do it, that will basically talk about each line, give you a little description about each line. So, including the title, there are 82 words because that is the age of when my grandmother passed. So that's specifically why I chose the number of 82 words for that reason. And
Wow.
the cookie title is because my grandmother and cookies go together, hence the metaphor, because she would always make so many cookies. It would be like, you go over to grandmother's house and you make all these cookies.
Yo, grandma's
And then,
cookie.
like lines 1 and 2, cookies, like grandma, are sweet and always loved, has a place anywhere. Going for line 3 and 4, cookies symbolize giving, which is something grandma loved to do. In 5 and 6, we have her stubbornness runs in the family, but she always has a giant heart for anyone. We were a very, very stubborn family, so that is part of the stubborn outside, the gentle inside. And then you have 7 and 8, which talks about she has a lot of history, everything coming together to make her who she was. She was more than just an ordinary grandma. And then 9 and 10, everyone could only smile when around her. It's always time for a good memory, especially holiday season. Usually our holidays consisted of my family and my cousin's family because it was a shared grandma. So it was basically you go to grandma's house for the holidays. And then we have 11 and 12, again repeating the notion of grandma always spread her love, whether it was big or small. And then number 13, the acronym at the bottom, is the spelling of her name.
I thought that because I saw the capitalization, the Joan.
Hmm.
That's so sweet. I love the little details that you brought in. The 82 words to
Hmm.
represent her age, that crushed me like an effing rock. I Oh my gosh, yeah, that one hurt. That hurt so bad. But I think what really moved me the most was line 7 and 8 where you're talking about the history, right? I want to go back and read this because let's see here. So it said every unique ingredient, history, the recipe will include, creates much more than just an ordinary food. And it just reminds me of like all the little things and little pieces, little experiences that we are. It's almost like an individual ingredient coming together. And then the recipe is like us and our life. The end result, the baked sweet or the cookie, right, would be our last, like our last moment, our last breath. And oh my, Jude, please. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry, but this is so good. And it makes me like, it genuinely just makes me want to call my grandma right now. Like,
So yeah,
I know she's
so
in bed, but wow.
yeah, it was basically my grandma passed, and I wanted to write something, so this is what I wrote for the ceremony.
Oh my gosh.
And
I think it's lovely.
mhm. And I know that I did a very good job because a very manly man of an uncle, I got them to cry with this, so I did something right. That,
I love seeing that.
that's an achievement that I have related to this. But yeah,
And I mean, and it works again. Like I said, there's so many different levels coming into it. When you think a cookie, you do think grandma's cookies. You think of like not just what they baked, but the good moments you had over those cookies. And then when you pull in, right, that parallel and that metaphor of like the sweet being life, the recipe being all the things that make you you, like you really did such a good job. This hurts. It hurts. It's so good. It's so good.
she was stubborn but never really angry. Just, she'd also have like popsicles in her freezer, for example. So we would go over and be like, can we have some popsicles? And my dad would say no, but grandma would say yes, and it's grandma's freezer.
Mm.
Then we got popsicles because
Oh,
grandma said yes.
yo. Okay, Lizzie said I need to taste my grandmother's cooking now. Yeah, the entire time while we've been reading this, discussing this, all I'm thinking about is like going home soon and seeing my grandparents. June, I think you have so many of us in our feelings
Mm.
tonight. I want to thank you so much for saving your points and like gathering us today to do this. I know we're running out of time soon, but this has been, oh my gosh, y'all, so different from what we normally do together, but I'm so thankful. This has been great.
I mean, we should be able to get through most of the list. I think we got through half. And just the last point I
Hmm.
have for this one is so my mother's side had grandmother. Um, they're a little older. We had a great grandmother. Just I haven't really had a lot of relation with her, but I know my grandmother, basically my dad's side, was the shared grandmother between me and my cousins, and didn't really have a grandfather, so it was mostly just grandmother for a while, and then now I do not have any more grandparents. She was the last one.
No, the last cookie. Don't do that.
Hmm.
Now I need you to write a second poem called The Last Cookie in the Jar or something like that. You have to. Or like Empty Cookie Jar. You see what I'm saying? You're breaking my heart and I need you to do it again. Tape it together and then smash it with a sledgehammer. Please. Oh my God. Britt, you said you made me tear up. This reminds me of my grandma that I lost earlier this year. Y'all, can I say something absolutely horrible? So, I lost my great grandmother in October, like right towards the end. I lost my uncle and my great grandmother about 2 weeks apart, right around the end of October, beginning of November, and a lot of us have been, talking about like seasonal depression, and right now we're talking about our grandparents. June, I think this was such like divine timing. I think this was a message that a lot of us needed to hear, so we could be sentimental about our families and really tap into why we can be thankful. Not my camera dying at the most vital part,
Mm.
but I think it's so important that we read something like this today because now that, Thanksgiving is kind of getting near, I think it's so vital that we are tapping into why we're thankful and tapping into um, the good things about our family, even if everything isn't
Yeah,
perfect.
and I
Oh
think
my
for
gosh.
better or for worse, I mean, it was May of. Okay, this is actually kind of messed up. So it was May of 2024 was when she passed. Um, it was around the same time McDonald's was passing out this like granny meal.
What?
Yeah, they had like a grandma theme like apple pie or something at McDonald's, and it was like
Stop
during the
it.
time my grandmother passed. I'm like, that's too funny. But
This is the
um,
irony.
I think the upcoming holidays will be better. But I know last year was the year it would have been the year without grandma, but this year it's now on our own. But I think
Oh,
unless you have any more thoughts, we can definitely just try and get through the rest of these poems.
oh yeah, for sure. I am gonna fix my camera really quickly. If you
Yes,
want to read the next one,
because I know. Yeah, what we can do that. Yeah, we'll pull that up.
I I think Blurred also put something in Discord again.
Yeah, it was some rap lyrics. I will definitely not read
Oh,
them like rap. So if I read them, that is, I'm just telling you right now, they will not
you
be
gotta get
read.
the rhythm.
They will not be rapped. They will be read as if they are poetry.
I feel like in a way though, I feel like rap can be poetry.
For
It's
sure.
all about rhythm.
Let's see. I think I took a screenshot of this. Yes. Okay, well, I will pull this up.
Show us what you got. I'm gonna fix my camera while you do this.
All right. So blurred. We have first one. The space on how we place like Earth to stars, choose wise, decides it's Titans versus the gods, where I grew no good, no hood worse than ours. Times had to let, er, yeah, yeah, times had to let it pop, so they don't hurt your moms. Overtly noted, there was no one off limits. Foreign, foreign, a meeting of the minds. Try and record the minutes. I lay the I lay a page for later stage. They more for beginners. Never tight grab, white flag, or till it's finished. Few winners, few dinners. May attitude to feed us. Each night we keep fighting, no matter if you beat us. No man programmed for building. They'd rather you delete us. Seems
Mm.
seems the half of you that hate us is the half of you that need us. Repeated that. I want compassion from the highest, food for the lowest, cures for the afflicted, roofs for the roofs for the homeless, direction for the misled, heat for the coldest, love for the lonely, peace for the soldiers. That is
I like
from
that.
Golden Fleece by Ka. I think. Uh,
Now, Blurred, I think you originally said this was mythology based, right? It feels so political. Like it feels very modern day almost. How did y'all feel about that one? Also, Heather, welcome in. Enjoy your lurk.
I think the ending was very. I just like the kind of just the list of kind of like the wants, but just in a way that's just each night we keep fighting, no matter if you beat us. And just I think I like the line, the repeated line. It just seems the half of you that hate us is the half of you that need us. It's just they're
Mm,
bringing themselves down, whether it's from hatred or whatnot. I want compassion for the highest, food for the lowest, and just you want you you want the worst affected people to be good. And I think
yes.
it's a very strong message.
Yes, it feels political. And maybe that's just because of the current climate that we're in. Maybe that's why I'm applying that. But again, yeah, like you said, those ending statements right there, they're so political. Ooh.
I'll definitely
But
have
you said the
to
whole album is Greek mythology based.
Greek mythology based. Yeah, I'll definitely have to remember to look up the song so I can actually hear it in the rhythm and style that the artist chose to do on my own,
Mm, that is
for
true.
sure.
I'm kind of interested though, Blurred. So what part of I guess what part of Greek mythology is this addressing? Because again, like I said, it feels so current day. It feels so political. It feels like a call to action almost, saying, "Hey, this is what I believe in. I want to, I want to feed the hungry. I want to make sure that the people outside that are cold are warm in the winter." It's cool, but I don't think I understand the Greek mythology relation. Orpheus versus the Sirens. Oh, that's the story. Okay, okay. I'm gonna have to definitely look at this album and read it. I know you've mentioned it a handful of
Mm,
times, but it's really cool to see the lyrics. Greek mythology is a metaphor for his own personal life. He carries the theme across multiple albums. Mm. So, in a way, Blurred, this could kind of be interpreted as political then. I like that. Hey, Heather, thank you for the stream streak.
mm.
Welcome in. We are doing a storytime reading stream with June. If you have any poems, writings, readings, or silly stories, anything you want to submit for us to read, you're more than welcome to do so. We do have about 30 more minutes or so of stream. Um, so we're still going to keep reading and dissecting all these writings. But I think we are going to jump into June, right? You had another?
Yes. Let's see. We
Oh,
have
I think four more?
four
Oh,
more, and then the story. So five total. But the next one's
six.
smaller, so this one's kind of like a quick discussion.
Okay. This is Autumn Leaf, correct?
Yes. Life of an
Perfect.
autumn leaf. So I will let you take it away.
Life of an autumn leaf. Give me just a second to make sure I have my screen set up. Here we go. Gotta pull it up on my phone too. All right, y'all. This one is Life of an Autumn Leaf. Here I stand with my green family close, as we all prepare our change of clothes. One by one, we leave from our home, scattering out to the world and roam. With the breeze of the wind, I fall free, awaiting my destination with glee. Lower I land, down to the ground. My new place in the world has been found. The cracking of my brothers shuffling near, piling together once again with my peers. Larger and larger we clump together in mass, then soon we fly around again to the grass. My journey cycles to new places of rest, falling to hopefully find the best. Aw, falling to hopefully find the best. I like what you did with that. Wait, I have to reread this silently. One more second.
So, little context, we read it silently. I have this creative writing class. We needed to do a fall poem about just a 14 line poem about fall. So I don't even know if it had to be about fall, but I chose it to be about fall. Basically, life of an autumn leaf. You have the green clothes, change of clothes, and then one by one, the leaves as family start to leave their home, and everyone's trying to go do their own. They have their own path. They start together, they're changing, and now they're going to wherever the world takes them. The wind is the unknowing to bring you to the world around you, because everyone's doing different things now. But some of them, we come together in mass, still finding time to come together. So it's kind of just like a little metaphor on family and community.
Wait, I don't think I caught that. So when I first read it, that third paragraph right there,
Hmm.
crackling of my brothers, the piling together, I was feeling like enjoyment and happiness from it. Like, oh my gosh, they're getting back together again. But not once did I realize or even draw from like that family aspect. That's really cute. It's really cute to think about, yeah, like individual leaves being part of a family, right? They drift off, but then they eventually come back. Oh, that's so sweet. I feel like we can relate to this in a way of like leaving, like for college, or if some of us are leaving for like to do active duty or something. June, I like this one.
Yeah, I think it's a little petite, but it's nice.
Hey, Benny, what the heck? Hey, so low key, it's been more than an hour, so it'd be like nighttime reading 2 hours.
Hmm.
Benny, please.
Because my stream title is called Nighttime Reading Hour.
I see. I understand it now.
But yeah, we can just go right to the next one, which is a little longer. But I think is technically my first write.
Wait, like your first ever?
The first one that I did. Yes.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay. All ears. I have to hear you read it.
Alright. So there is never an empty thought. Right. There's always something to think about. Positive or negative, serious or lighthearted, complex or clear, curious or confused, past or present, future, and everything in between. There is never an empty thought. We always have something to think about, what we want to do today, tomorrow, further, what we finished today, tomorrow, further, where we choose to go, or whom we choose to be with. There is never an empty thought. Though we'd like to think for ourselves, the pressure from others gets overwhelming. How do we choose? How we choose to present ourselves, keeping our image? What have people thought about us, and what do we make of them? How have our actions affected our surroundings? Our thoughts may take influence from others, whether you think it does or not. There's never an empty thought. Do we think of ourselves, what we say, do, like, and more? Do we really know who we are? Is what we view fully ours, or only partially? Do we even like who we are? What we've done and are destined to become, there is never an empty thought. Does what I've brought, our thoughts, actions, connections, make us belong? What if we were not a factor in everyone's thoughts? What if we were suddenly gone? How would others react? Would what we've done with someone be important enough to continue to be relevant further? There's never an empty thought. Think of someone who's in your thoughts and what they mean to you. Even if their thought may seem to be empty, it's now passed on to you. Think of who might think of you and what you mean to them. If your thoughts went empty, how would your thoughts be shared? There is never an empty thought, just something to think about.
That last line. That last line. There's never an empty thought. Just something to think about. Okay, listen. Modern day philosopher, perhaps. What the heck? I love that last line. I love the way this feels. It kind of again draws back into our conversation we had earlier with like hyperactive thoughts, right? And just constantly thinking. But I like that you didn't add like stress or anxiety to it. It's almost melancholy. It's almost peaceful, as if it's like I'm never alone. Whoa, whoa. This w- I keep saying this. This is so good, but it's good. I love poetry. This is fantastic.
Yes, this one is formally my beginning piece that started the snowball of my other ones.
I That last line I fear is going to keep me up. There's never an empty thought, just something to think about. Because I mean, yeah, you're right. There are so many things to think about, and so many of us do. Wow.
Brain is always working.
Nick. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Raiders, welcome in. Hello. Let me see what's going on here. Hi, Nick. Raiders, welcome in. We are doing a storytime reading tonight. We're reading a handful of poems, stories, lyrics, things that have been submitted by the community and also by Junebug, who you see right here on stream with me.
Hello, hello.
June has saved up so many channel points to bring us just a special bonus stream of storytime readings, and it has been fantastic because we're really getting into just how each other thinks, how we move throughout the world, and we've been having some fantastic conversations. So I hope y'all are ready for a chill night. I hope you had a good stream. Nick, what were you up to? Hi, Raiders. Blurred, thank you for welcoming them in. Y'all, it's so good to see you. I hope you had a good stream and I hope you had a good weekend. Like I said, we are going to be super cozy, and we do have about 15 minutes left of stream. So we're going to be reading some more poems and talking about them if y'all would like to yap with us. Hi, Rexy. Welcome back. Or streaming Mario Kart World and just chilling. Recovering from sickness. I absolutely understand that. I took yesterday off just to sleep and recover, so I totally get that, but I'm glad to see that you are back. I'm glad to see that you were feeling better. I hope that you enjoyed Mario Kart World. I know June here is actually a comp Mario Kart World player. Uh-huh.
I've been getting back into it too.
I'll be lurking and listening. No worries, Nick. Thank you so much for bringing your community over here. I've been here the whole time, been loving all these. Yeah, Rexy. So you know what, y'all? I know we don't have a ton of time, so I definitely want to utilize it so we can keep having good conversations. Let's get back into the poem that we just read, right? There's never an empty thought. Or not my last line, but that last line is again probably my favorite. There's never an empty thought, just something to think about. It's again just so ironic, but the entire poem itself is so peaceful, it's so melancholy. And Blurred, I love that you pointed it out because I do see the similarities between both your pieces. Having a hyperactive mind that just constantly thinks about everything and anything. But Blurred, you are right. You know, your piece was more about your mind being invasive and anxious and fast and almost like anxiety inducing and stressful. Whereas the contrast would be June's thoughts constantly being wondrous, melancholy, maybe even a little bit philosophical. I think it's so cool to sit here and just have that deep dive insight on how both of you feel, how both of you move throughout life. It's really, really, it's just exciting. It's so exciting to see the parallels between how we can navigate one common problem and just how different we are. Very, very cool. I was just listening mostly. No worries, Rexy. I think this is a very chill stream to lurk in. Hi, Buzz. Buzz, it's good to see you. If you didn't catch me saying it, we are reading some poems tonight and kind of just digesting them and taking them apart, talking about them. Currently, we're talking about, you know, maybe I would say the struggles and the beauty of having a hyperactive mind. I think, again, Blurred June, between your two pieces, you really cover the highs and lows of like having ADHD, having a mind that is constantly racing and constantly filled with thoughts. This is great. Now, June, you said this was your first piece, right? That you've like
This is formally the
ever written
first
before
piece that
you.
I've written, yes.
What was the inspo? Why was this the topic of the first one?
I think I've always enjoyed the deeper subjects, and then kind of going back to my earlier point of somber and focusing on areas that people are afraid to go.
Mm,
Just, kind of relating to that, there's always something to think about. Just, there's always something on my mind. And whether that's what I'm doing, what we're doing today, or what's going on, or what am I thinking about, or am I thinking about others? Just everything all at once. So I think just when I was writing for the majority of them, I really like looking into the deeper emotion and having discussion to focus on stuff like that.
mm, I love this. I
Hmm.
too, I also though, I think it's very representative of like your personality as well. Or like maybe just like the state of your mental too. Blurred, you said my hyperactive mind helps with creativity and a sense of creating on the fly and immediately thinking of the next thing. But outside of that, I just want it to chill. See, and I think it's slightly ironic that you state it like that because, again, when we were reading your piece, it's almost like we get that. We feel that weight. We feel that well, what was it actually that you said? You said it was something about feeling heavy, right? Even when you're laying there, you're doing nothing, you still feel heavy because your brain just doesn't stop. And for you, that is exhausting. I find it, again, so fascinating. Yeah, tense, heavy, clustered. And it's, again, so fascinating that your piece feels like that. Even just the way that you read it, the way that you displayed it, it feels very fast, very rapid, very, my thoughts are always constantly moving. Whereas when we again are on contrast, we're looking at June's, it's such a slow paced piece. It's like, yeah, June might have a lot of thoughts, but it's kind of like frolicking through a meadow. It's really cool to see the difference. I'm so impressed. This is amazing. Y'all, again, thank you so much for sharing this tonight.
We do have three more Junebug pieces. I feel like we can do it.
We can do it. We can do it. Okay, we got a speed read.
So, this next one, I'll let you have. And then
Let's
I'll
go.
have the next one after that, penultimate, and then that leaves you with the last one that you wanted to read. So it works out great.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's perfect. I really wanted that last one. We have to discuss the last one. It was fantastic to me. Let's see. Let me pull it up.
So this one is all yours.
Uh-oh. Where is it? Hello? Oh, there we go. Okay. This one is called A Telepathic Connection. Meeting with a friend, an old friend. With the time that's passed, there's much to fill that void. Talking for hours, could talk for days, back and forth. After a while, the speaking sedates. Paragraphs into sentences, sentences into words, words into letters. Nothing's left to say, but the void hasn't felt full. All that is heard is the sounds of the world. For now, sitting in silence seems to fill that void. Sitting together, thinking of words to say, nothing is left, just a quiet, telepathic connection. Ooh. Now, June, I feel like emotions can maybe go in almost two directions: sympathetic, sorrow filled, but also for me, this poem feels very lonely, which I think is almost the opposite of the intention. When you think of like telepathic connection, you think people who are so similar or so in it together that they don't need to say words because they're just on the same wavelength. But for some reason, the way you said paragraphs into sentences, sentences into words, words into letters, nothing's left to say, but the void hasn't felt full. It's almost like something's missing from that communication. And even though you don't have to say much, it's almost like you still need it. You still want it. Ooh, how do y'all feel? How did this make you feel?
I think a big part of it is, especially just meeting with a friend, an old friend. So you're meeting up with someone, maybe you haven't connected with them in a long time. So you have so much to say. So you're talking so much. There's all this stuff you're trying to catch up on. And then it reaches a point where you've shared so much, or you get to a point where you're like, I don't actually know what really to share. So now you're together.
Mm.
You just want to spend more time together, and there's stuff that you maybe want to share, but you just don't have anything, or you've shared everything that you've wanted to share, but it just doesn't feel like enough.
Mm.
So the telepathic connection of just each other's presence helps fill what is missing. So even if you're not saying a word, just sitting next to each other, being together, helps fill that silence.
Mm. And I think Blurred kind of picked up on that. They said quality time is a love language right here.
Hmm.
Oh, I see. I love that y'all are, I guess, like picking up on that or like feeling that. For some reason, I don't know why that feels sad to me. Even with the way that you said it, right? You've lived your lives together and it's like you've done so much together that there's nothing left to say because you were there, you've lived it. Why does that feel sad? I don't understand why I feel sad about that. What a thought. What a thought. I'm trying to decode it and I don't know. It's because you're a yapper. Oh, girl, the silence is making me uncomfortable. Mm.
Yeah. So there are two more. There's one more that I think is one of my more important ones to myself. And then the other one is
Mm.
something you really wanted to read. So I think the
Yes.
last two are saved to be very good. So we'll get through these last two, and then wherever stream takes us from there. So we have vicariousness. I'll wait for you to get that ready.
Yep. Thank you much. I just pulled it up.
Alright. So we have vicariousness. A numbing void presents itself in the hollow body, unable to react for itself, unable to feel for itself. A shallow heart trapped in darkness, traumatized to stillness. The emotion, the lack thereof, hide deep below the dim. An example of a healthy soul would shine clarity toward the dark. An earnest heart would help find a path into the deep. A view of what emotions should be, free and easy, somewhat to uncover the hidden spirit. When one cannot feel, there is only to try encouraging someone else who can. A gift to a friend, seeming so simple, brings out their compassion, so effortless for them, their emotion, though tricky for oneself. This must be how it looks, how it should feel. The depression in being different, the optimism, and how it could be. Articulation, through another, a substitute for the ineptability to express. The numbness assuages with the introduction of a proper sensation. This vicariousness brings the slightest hint of recovery, slowly closing the void.
You speak first. Hold on.
So, this idea of vicariousness, living through something or someone, is something that I would say I do a lot. I
Mm.
don't think I'm I'm not sociopathic where I don't feel anything. I think
Mm.
I express a lot less than others do. So, this is one reason why I say I try to be a good gift giver because I like to see everyone else react, be so excited for the gift, and then I can live through their expression because I would never give that big of an expression for anything. So if
What?
I can make someone else feel that way, then I can live through that.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Hold on. That's a new perspective for me. Hold on. Right, because I'm a big emoter. Y'all know.
Mhm.
Y'all know. Like I don't even try to hide it. I will cry right here, right now. Um, so that's wait, so is it only joy then? Is it only like do you do that with maybe sadness or anger? Do you I guess witness it and then feel that? How does whoa, this is I love how Dora and Achilles are relating. How many of y'all can relate to this? Hold on. You don't feel a lot of emotion, so you like to invoke that in others in order to feel it, or at least sense it in some way?
If I'm, it's hard for me to get really excited over something. So if I can make someone really excited over something, then I can feel that I can see how it looks. So I can appreciate the emotion when I can't do it
Ah,
myself automatically. Because
oh my
if you want to
gosh.
talk back and forth with you and me, if you're expressing a whole lot, like you are always reacting to everything, I would be the person making you react so I could feel better that I don't do that.
What?
It's the reason why I'm reading these today.
What?
It's coming
Hold
full,
on.
it's full circle. It's coming full circle.
This is crazy. Not crazy, crazy, but like this is a very good moment, I feel like, for a lot of us
Well,
right now.
and right now, you're flailing, you're screaming, you're doing everything. I'm just
You're
sitting
probably
here.
vibing.
Yeah.
See, you're vibing. I'm having my mind literally blown out of its skull, and
See,
I'm
so that's the
ah,
vicarious feeling, which is why I said that is the vicarious feeling. It is a feeling
that's why you
very
do what you do.
yes.
That's
Th-
so it's so cool though, I think, because I find that maybe to be healthy, like rather than fully committing to just not feeling, right? You are finding innovative ways to get there. I I is this healthy? I think this is healthy. I feel like this is a good thing.
I think it can
That's
be
crazy.
and can't be, but I think you just have to treat it right. But I think I
Mm.
I would like to think that this isn't the worst way, and I think it's fine. I think it's better than maybe hiding anything. Um, but if there's
Yeah.
something that I like to focus and discuss on, like I said, it's somber. I just love my focusing on moments that are of just sad, hot heartbreak, just to really focus in on all that. Because that's
Oh.
because I can connect with someone's explanation, but I cannot express back to them physically. So I
Mm.
can
So,
understand it, but I will
mhm.
never present it.
And that's right there, what you just said. That's the difference between empathy and sympathy, right there.
Hmm.
Understanding someone's situation and like their thoughts, their emotions, versus being able to like put yourself in their shoes and feel that fully. And I don't think one is necessarily better or worse than the other. I think both are equally important. I think it's really cool that you can, I mean, that you have an outlet to do that. I think it's really smart and it's beneficial for you to do that. And it looks like people are relating too. Blurred, you said making others laugh makes me feel better. It takes a lot for me to feel genuine happiness. Partly why I enjoy horror, heavy drama movies. It helps me express and helps me feel emotions that are usually hard for me to show off. Wow. Achilles, you said I show a lot of over exaggerated emotions to put up a front when I actually don't feel it. This is so interesting. What? I used to say my emotions out loud to further show my feelings because I couldn't feel them. Oh, Achilles, I understand that. Like saying, hey, I'm feeling frustrated right now, but just not maybe actually feeling it, but knowing that that's how you feel. I'm being confusing.
Hmm.
Not being able to show frustration, but being able to address that is how you feel.
Yeah,
That's so wait, June, do you relate to that then as well?
I'd say so. I,
Wow.
yeah, just making others who are very reactive react so that way I can have a sense that I can feel that way with them spiritually.
Mm. Well, okay, so I have a question then. Obviously, I feel like I'm on the other side of this. As
Hmm.
as a feeler, right? As a person who constantly feels and emotes that exactly. Is it ever like a like I wish they would feel less, or is there ever like jealousy towards not being able to feel that much?
I think sometimes with this, I mean, in the last line, you have depression and being different, optimism, and how it could be. The sometimes I feel sad that I can't or that I'm not right. Like if something should excite me or should even sadness, um, we could get deep. Going back to my grandmother, everyone around me is expressing their sadness physically.
Mhm.
They're all sad, they're all, tearing up, especially after the poem. So the poem is essentially my way of like expressing to them, and I can see everyone else show all their care out physically. But for me, I don't, I didn't cry, and I felt guilt for that because couldn't,
Mm.
I just couldn't physically feel sad, even though this very important person to me, my grandmother, my only grandmother, has just passed away. My last grandmother, when everyone else is, and I'm just not.
That's yeah, and I feel like that in itself is such a hard thing to sit with sometimes. As somebody who may not be able to feel or express, situations like that have got to be really difficult.
I think
And
just,
now I'm feeling
yeah,
like I guess I'm feeling thankful that I do emote the way that I do because like I don't know, it's like a balance, right? I'm sure in other ways maybe people wish that they could be strong like you. They wish they could maybe cry less or calm down more than what they normally are. It's such an interesting thing to hear. And I appreciate you so much for sharing that. That's wow. Wow, y'all, what the heck?
we do have
And
the
Miss
one more.
Octo, those were
Oh,
fantastic words. I
right,
know, I know. We have one more to get through,
right. Go for it.
but this was so good. Miss Octo, I did pin your message because that's great. Not everything has to be understood. Some things just need to be accepted. And I think that's this lesson right here is navigating emotions, right? It's not necessarily right or wrong to be over expressive or under expressive. It's about how you work through it and how you get through it. Oh my gosh. Fantastic. June, thank you again for
So
the
I would say
perspective.
this is my favorite one that I've written, and I lied. The stress reliever. This is my first actual creative write. The other was just my first
A real
poem, but this is
exclusive.
my first write. Period.
Ooh. Like
This
ever.
is
Oh, okay, okay,
this
okay.
is the first creative writing endeavor that I had. Is this, which followed into the poem of "There's Never an Empty Thought," and then that snowballed everything else.
Ooh, okay.
So
All
this
right.
is the
Let's get into
first
this.
first
Ex-
window.
That's all right. I'm getting nervous now. Ooh, an exclusive. All right, y'all. Last reading of the night. Thank you again for being here. I know we're pushing time over a bit, but I'm very happy that we're having these conversations. This one is called Stress Reliever. Walking through the streets of the town, feeling quite pressed, trying to avoid the negative thoughts in her mind. The beginning seemed difficult until she let her mind loose. Instead of thinking about how to calm, she turns her head to the surrounding scenery. Little red birds flying by, soft zooming sound of cars passing by. It's all very soothing. Like a flash, a sensation goes by reminding her of what she tried to avoid. Shaking it off, she continues the walk. Taking a quick pause near the local park, there sits a bench facing the playing children. They all have big smiles, no worries, no responsibilities, and having a good time. The parents watch and encourage their children on the other side, where more seats are located. Looking at the children and back at the guardians, she heads along with a covering smile on her face. Turning around, she takes another passing glance at the park before she heads home. The returning walk is quite mellow. Entering the door, she heads straight to her bed, making herself comfy. Reaching her room, she changes into more suitable clothes for rest. Just before switching off the nightlight on the desk, she notices the photo of a man holding a rose-red cardinal, reminding her, happily, of that very bird she sees every morning. She begins to doze off, feeling too tired to continue anything, and lays down. Pushing out one last thought, softly, she says, "Father was always one for walks." Strike me down. Let me tell you something. The daddy issues leaped with this one. June bug. This was a crazy read. To have my hand held so delicately and be given such amazing descriptors, right? We're having a peaceful walk, okay? We are just a girl enjoying the little details of life. We're looking at birds. We're looking at people happily playing on the playground with their kids. And then for you to take me home and make me feel exhausted, but then to reassure me that I'm still being cared for, I'm still being looked after. It hurt so much because you don't see it coming. You just are, you're living your best life, and then all of a sudden you are reminded of the most crushing reminder. You lost a loved one, right? Somebody that meant something so special to you, doing an activity that you now do every day and are constantly reminded of through it. Amazing. I hated it and I loved it. I'll tell you that. Made me cry and sob, and I did not enjoy that. June, what was the... So you said this was your first, like first ever.
Yeah.
What was your... Again, well, like, what was the thought process? What did you... Why? Why?
I think. Well, I think like it was basically just a prompt for the class. Was imagery, short story.
Mm.
So that was part of it. Originally, I wrote it without without a character per se. I wrote it in the second person instead of she. I put you, which I think at the time was okay, but I kind of liked it being through a third person perspective better.
Mm.
So I changed it all to being a vessel of someone else versus trying to make it relate to you. Because that way I felt like I wasn't
Oh.
forcing you to feel that way, but rather you to watch someone else and understand it.
Yes, yes, almost like movie perspective. Yeah.
So I
It's
think
not necessarily about me.
so I
Whoa.
agree. So I think I agree with that change. Instead of you, I made it a girl. I think
Mm-hmm.
I could have chosen anyone. I just think I like her better than his.
I do too. No, I think it speaks to like a lot of, well, I don't want to say stereotypical relationships, right? But I always feel like whenever we hear about someone losing a father, it always means more to us whenever we hear about like father-daughter relationships versus father-son. And I'm not saying one is more important than the other, but I do for some reason feel like there's something about our society that says father-daughter relationship is just so special. It is so pure. It is so unlike anything else. And so I think that you choosing to say, right, her, it sold that message right there. It just felt so delicate. That it was good. I mean, it was a fantastic change. June. What the heck? Watch it land on 30. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. What are we gonna get? What are we gonna get? We're at the last few minutes of it. What are we getting? Oh, you got a sprinkle. Ooh. Ooh. Right next to Derek. I got you. What the heck? Y'all, this was so good. I hope you had fun. June, did you have fun?
It was great.
Oh,
I
Blurred.
did.
Yeah, that's the trope, being a daddy's girl. Everybody understands daddy's girl and grandparents. Yeah. It's like the like princess treatment almost. Blurred, thank you for the gifted decay. She's such an incredible streamer. Let's see what we get. It was really close to landing on a time extension.
I did see that.
Oh, what's in the air tonight? Mini sprinkles for everyone. What the heck? Y'all, we are working on sprinkles tomorrow, so I mean, get to thinking. Kendall did create a fall theme for us, so if y'all want to be a leaf, like June's poem. Wait, wait,
Hmm.
hold on. We could go full circle. Do we want to be fall leaves? An autumn leaf?
A big family leaf.
A big fan. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Overriding the theme. We're all leaves. Done. Sorry. We're all just little leaves in the cottage. No, yeah. June, you ate it up. I'm sorry. We're gonna be leaves this month, y'all. It's decided. That's so cute. 12 out of 10. I had such a great time tonight. I am being so, so serious, y'all. If you stuck around from beginning to end, whether you came in at the middle, whether you came in right now, thank you so much for just listening to some readings, being willing to open up and be vulnerable and have these conversations with us. I think that getting into art as a group is always scary sometimes because we only have our perspectives and our life experiences to pull from. The only things we can draw from the poetry and the art that we're reading is, again, our own lives. And so I appreciate you all for opening up and for not being judgmental towards one another and just giving each other space to practice their craft, practice just speaking. I know Miss Octo, I feel like this is the closest we've gotten so far, and I love hearing just about everything, who you are, how you are. I really hope you enjoyed tonight's stream.
And
This
I'm,
made me want to start writing again. Oh, June, look at that.
yeah, I posted the PDF of all the ones that were shared on screen, 1 through 9. So that is in
Thank you.
your masterpiece. And then I will also eventually post my recording on my YouTube. So once that's a VOD, I will definitely reshare it into the masterpiece as well for people to replay.
Please do. Please
And then
do.
you
That would
can
be so fun.
see me and Kotti Kirby on the little couch.
Yes. Y'all, if you haven't popped over to June's stream, though, please, please do. They spent so much, well, I don't know if you spent so much, but they took the time to put together this cute backdrop with both our VTubers on there, and we're holding these cutie little books together. I adored their setup. But if you're not following June, you need to. please. They're an amazing streamer. I know they usually play Mario Kart
Mm,
and they're very competitive and very great at it, but they're also really fun to talk to, have an amazing, very soothing, calming voice. And like they said earlier, they're not very emoty at all. So every stream is chill, even if they're playing comp cart and kicking ass.
Thursday. Thursday's another week of my
That's
tournament.
when you let's go. I love to see it. What tourney are you doing now?
So it's week 4 of the collegiate that I'm doing. Week 4 of 5. So
Oh,
it's
wait.
the same free for all. Got 2 more weeks of that.
How are you? Do you know how you're doing right now? Or do you have to wait until the end?
I They showed up a little progress report. I'm doing okay. I'm not last. I'm somewhere in the middle. If I do really
Okay.
well, I could probably perform up, but it's looking to where I'd probably be top half, maybe. So
Ooh.
it's like
Wait, that's
position
really
based.
exciting though.
So you do the whole Mogi, and then your final points is given to you by placement points. So say if you were first in the week, you get 15 points, not like 100 points, that whatever you scored.
Oh.
So I got 4th place, and I got 9th place, and I got 6th place. So I get, those points. And then,
Added up towards the end. I see, I
yes.
see.
So there's 2 more weeks. Thursday is week 4, around 9 p.m. EST. It'll be there.
Okay, wait, 9?
Yep, 9 p.m. 9
This
p.m.
is the real
Yeah.
reason we stream so late tonight. You're
Mm,
training us so we can stay awake for Mario Kart. I see.
you can,
I see what's happening.
yeah, I do my usual play Mario Kart, talk about what I do at. So I enjoy doing that. Talk about my game plan as I'm doing it. Give some valuable information for everyone. So people,
Honestly though,
yeah,
I do learn a lot from your kart streams, I have to say. You're very like I don't know. I would say it's easy to learn from you just because you're constantly, like you said, talking about what you're doing. But on top of that, like if I have questions, you do not look at me like I'm stupid. You're like, oh yeah, you can, I don't know, drive on the wall. Let me show you how it's done. And it's so nice.
yeah. Sometimes, usually, I'll have a clip that I clipped, and then I talk about it for like the last 5 minutes and just break it down, important stuff like that. So those VODs will also be on my YouTube eventually. So it's,
Oh, nice. Okay.
it's on
Yeah,
my
we'll definitely have to stay tuned.
it's on my pages. It's in my Twitch here, and then in my Discord profile. So if you see me on, you can just click on my Discord. It's right there. And I do have a Discord of
Let's
my own
go.
if you want the notifications. I wonder if this works for. Yeah,
It should. If you have like a command, it should pop up. I hope. I could be a liar.
there it is.
Yeah, it worked. There we go.
So
Sick.
if you it's just a Discord that gives you notifications. So you don't have to worry about talking to a community. It's just notifications on.
Oh wait, I actually knew that, but that's still so nice.
Well, I also just felt I'm talking with everyone in the same space anyway, so I don't need another space for everyone to talk. I'm like, it's just notifications.
That's real. That's real.
I'm also stalling for this hype train.
Oh my gosh, wait. No, you're so fine. We can talk about maybe who to raid into. We
Mm,
should raid into someone together.
of course. Let's see. I mean, if you have a list of friends, by all means. I'm curious to see if
You had
anyone's
some
actually
ideas.
doing some kind of similar thing. Someone random.
Oh, you know what? I looked in the art section of
Mm,
Twitch earlier today trying to find people that were doing readings. And I I don't know where people are hiding, but I know people read on Twitch. I just could not find anybody or what category they were in.
Because I think art is great. I think just chatting would be another one, maybe. Because that's what I put
Mm-hmm.
myself under.
Yep. I tried there, I tried art, I tried co-working too, and I did not find anyone.
I'm sorry, Achilles, we will not be rating T-Pain because they're just gonna tell us
T-Pain is
no.
like exactly. You're gonna set us up for disappointment. We can't raid T-Pain anymore. But I do have a handful of people, y'all. Let's see here. So Gio's on, and I know we saw Gio today. Derek's on, and we saw Derek today. I feel like we always raid them, but I love putting them in a raid poll. And then we also have Jen. I feel like June, you should say two, and I'll say two.
We'll have to
And then
find
we'll
some
have a
people
poll.
because no one I follow is online other than like Derek. But I don't have anyone on.
I mean,
The only people I follow is like you and Benny. So
that's the okay, okay. I'll make the poll. I got it. I got it. I know what for. Achilles, do you want to make the poll? Do you want to do your job? You feel like earning your $10 Christmas bonus. Also, Heather, welcome in. You were able to share your poems. Yeah. We had people submit from the community, and also we read a handful of June's poems too. But if you still want to share it, the Discord channel is always open. If you want to put it in the Masterpiece channel, I do always read your Discord messages in the morning. So I mean, I would still love to read your work, even if it's not on stream. I'm at work right now, so that's okay, Achilles. I can type it. Now, the real question is the poll gonna pop up for both of us?
I think it'll be on your end, but I think everyone who is even in here is on your end. Otherwise,
Mm,
I'll rehash. I will reshare what you put in my chat. So I
that's
will make sure
fair.
I'll
Let's
make sure it
see.
matches. Like I'll,
Let's see here.
yeah, I can just copy whatever you put in your poll.
Okay. So I'm gonna do Jen with Stardew Valley. This was a girly pop streamer I met a while ago through Skies. We played Repo together. I know that's super niche to what we do over here, and I do apologize, but they are so lovely. I'm gonna put my in there. They're playing a game called Dispatch. I don't think I've heard of it before. We're gonna do Derek, and they're playing GeoGuessr again. One of the absolute worst games for me. And then I'm gonna put Geo in here because it looks like they are finishing Hollow Knight Silk Song. I know that came out a little while ago, but um, I still feel like it's a good watch. Now I am gonna put that up for just a couple minutes. Rig is 56 points, and I'm starting it right now. Let me know who y'all want to raid into. Like I said, you have 4 options for tonight. We've got Geo with Hollow Knight Silksong, Derek with GeoGuessr, Mai with Dispatch, or Jen with Stardew Valley. Dispatch is the game where they say, fuck you temporarily, you're blind forever. Wait, Blurred, what? Why is the rig not 56k? Achilles, because I have a heart. Just stopping by to say hi. Hi, Depressed. It's good to see you. We are getting ready to actually close out stream. We had such a lovely time reading some poems and other things tonight. But I hope you had a good day. I'm at work earning the money that you don't pay me. Achilles, I'm giving you $10 this year. Flat for the whole year. I think that's a lot.
You don't get paid because everyone keeps taking it away with their spins.
Exactly, exactly. You saw what happened earlier. Derek was the one that came in here. Derek robbed you. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Miss Octo, you said I'm human with human emotions. No apologies for feeling deeply. Oh, I like that. I think it took me a long time to kind of accept the fact that I was like a very emotional person. And I feel like it was really nice to hear y'all's perspective on, I guess, being on the other side of that, not being as emotional. It's really it's really fascinating to see that sometimes we feel the same way about it. Like notes of guilt sometimes when we feel that we should be acting one way and we don't.
Well, now that you've read them all, as we're waiting for the timer to go, do you have a definitive
A
favorite?
favorite?
Do you have one?
Oh, wait. Let me scroll back through. Hold on.
The last hurrah.
That's a ooh, that's a really good question. Cottage, you have to answer too. Which was your favorite? There was, okay, let's scroll through them together actually. There was Stress Reliever, which was the last one we read, and that was the father was always one for walks. Broke my heart in pieces. Pieces. I can't find my browser. Oh my gosh. Where'd she go? There she goes. We had Vicariousness, Telepathic Connection. I know Miss Octo and I were kind of outliers on that one, but that was really good too. Oh, there's never an empty thought. Oh, that was so good. I loved that last line too. There's never an empty thought. Just something to think about. Oh. Okay, okay. Life of an Autumn Leaf. That one was cute. I don't know about favorite, but I think it was very uplifting. The Hummingbird, that was really heartfelt. Ooh, Ability to Imagine, our whimsical little poem. Oh, June, you're making this hard. Elephant's Mentality. Wait, this was the one. Okay, wait. I don't know. June, what the heck? I don't know. No, I know. I know. I think, I think it's this
Which one?
Ability to Imagine. The one about whimsy, pretty much.
It's good.
I think the reason I feel so, I guess, like pulled towards it is because it is how I am, I suppose, choosing to live my life. Every time something bad happens or anytime life kind of gets dark, I'm still choosing to like seek out hope and seek out whimsy and seek out creativity and positivity. And I don't know. I feel like we talk about living with joy so much around here that this is the one. This is the poem. Geo won the raid poll. Oh, okay, Achilles, thank you.
All right.
Laird, you
We,
said mine was Friendship of Theseus. That one was also a really good one. It was a really strong start.
yeah, no, it's not on the list,
June.
but I know we had Cookie as well.
Yeah, the cookie one. Wait, because that one tore me up too. That one was really tough. I don't know. June, which one is your favorite?
I think I really like the reasons that I had for Cookie, but I think just for the strong
Mm.
attachment, I think Vicariousness will still be my favorite, just because of how deeply I feel that, ironically, which is what it's about not feeling.
Ooh. There's levels to that. It's
Mhm.
almost ooh. Okay.
And like I said,
Philosophical even
mhm.
in another
it's,
sense.
it's the reason why we're here, so I can read these poems and get you and everyone's reactions to them,
Oh my
because
gosh.
so pretty much just Vicariousness is just, it's so embodied in my personality and soul that I can't not have it as my favorite.
Oh, that's incredible, right? Because I mean, again, it speaks to exactly who you are. Oh, that's like it's like a giant circle almost, but in a good way. In a good way. I'm glad you, I guess, are finding ways to express yourself through, I guess, bringing other people joy. That's so, so different. That was amazing. Yeah, let's start this raid. I think Achilles started ours
Yeah, I need to
on this end.
update my raid timer. It's like have to wait till the end because my rate is like 10 seconds and then it goes into it. So I have to wait till it's like at the
Oh
end.
my gosh.
I'm sure there's a way to change it,
Oh,
but
that's
I'm not gonna do that right now.
yup, yup. There's always it's always so hard
But
too when you see the timer and you're
mm,
like, well, that's my speech. Guess we're gonna
well,
sit here for 10 seconds.
I'm
But
gonna
lucky for y'all,
put in
I do
my
have a speech
stream
too.
my ending screen. So for my side of the stream,
Ooh,
we will see you later. But we'll still
okay.
stay and wave for Kotti.